To be honest with you, I didn't really know what was going to happen with the whole trade situation. I literally woke up to it all, and I ended up in New York. So I'm just excited, man, to just get started. Like I said, I can't really control everything, like minutes and stuff like that, but I can control my attitude, my effort. So I'm just going to do my best to give all of that.
I'm Raymond Brenkert, back again for the Knicks Wall to break down Cam Reddish and exactly what I see in Cam when I watch him. On January 13th, the Knicks attached one of their surplus first-round picks to former first-round picks Kevin Knox. Reddish, a 22-year-old 6'8" wing, is eligible for his rookie extension. Too many mouths to feed in Atlanta, and he ends up in New York with his former teammate R.J. Barrett. Wing shooter and scorer, small for potential, 7'1" wingspan. And Knicks fans are impatient to see what he can do. We're recording this before Monday's game against the Sacramento Kings, and so far he's only played about 15 total minutes versus the LA Clippers and Miami Heat. Now, Berman reported that Tibbs sees the wing position as a logjam, and that Reddish is going to have to earn his minutes. You have to play whoever gives you the best chance to win, Tibbs told Berman. And nobody's development is more important than someone else's development. Winning has to come first. Now, Knicks have questioned the wisdom of trading a first rounder to only get Cam and put him at the end of the bench behind Evan Fournier and Alec Burke, and it's frustrating. Fans want to see him play. We're all looking forward to the Duke reunion. However, this might be what's best in the long run for Cam. Now, injuries were part of why Cam failed to get established in Atlanta's rotation. He did have an okay rookie season, but then after only playing 26 games last year, the Hawks shut him down with what was reported as right Achilles soreness. Then in March, the Hawks announced that Reddish underwent a non-surgical procedure on that same right Achilles tendon. Now, I'm not a doctor, and we can't speculate on what was done, but for the last 10 years as a trainer and movement specialist, I can tell you that anytime anyone has any procedure done to their Achilles tendon, non-surgical or otherwise, it is cause for concern. Achilles injuries are notoriously tricky, partly because, tendinitis is when the tissue becomes inflamed, but recent studies have shown that when it comes to the Achilles tendon, it is not inflammation, but rather that the tendon simply wears down. The collagen that comprises the tendon degrades, it wears down, and it loses its ability to function as a larger part of the musculoskeletal system. It's tendinopathy, not tendinitis. It is not swollen, it is not inflamed, it is being eaten away. Sound confusing? All that means is the Achilles tendon is wearing down, and it's wearing down big time. Inflammation is the first step in the healing process. White blood cells and macrophages rush to the site of the injury to remove these damaged cells and tissues. And that is part of what makes these Achilles tendon injuries so tricky, is that the healing process in this part of the body is just a little bit different. And you would think that having your Achilles tendon degrade on you would be painful, but again, that's the trouble with tendinopathy. It's that the pain is often something minor, and guys will play through it until something gives. Either the Achilles tendon is going to snap like a rubber band, or the body is going to recruit from the calf and the ankle to make up for the lack of functional stability it has. This is why I think last season's Achilles soreness is probably the root of this year's ankle issues for Cam. This is Cam's last game with the Hawks. After this win against the Sacramento Kings, he was shelved with a right ankle sprain. And watch how he lands throughout the game. He's seemingly avoiding that right foot at all costs. I went back and compared this to the first regular season game of the season, about 7 months after the Hawks announced his sore Achilles, when he should have had plenty of time to stay off of it, which is really the only way that this tendinopathy will heal. He still lands on his left more often than not, but it's definitely not as pronounced. Now, it is key for a trainer to see these things in their player, because it is really tough to tell when the Achilles tendon has slipped into disrepair. If something looks off, it probably is, and it needs to be addressed. So Cam landing on his left foot all of those times would have definitely sent off bells and whistles in my head. So reactive tendinopathy is the phase that only acts up when you return to that stressful activity. It's the short-term exaggerated response to the overuse interrupting the healing process. Until his Achilles is 100%, he is prolonging his recovery and potentially putting himself at risk for major injury. It could be the dreaded Achilles rupture. It could be that the pressure shoots up the leg into the knee or develop into chronic ankle and foot issues. Basically, he's putting his entire lower body at risk until this is taken care of. While annoying, sitting Reddish while showcasing guys like Burks and Fournier before the deadline may be the right move. And hopefully we're not giving the team too much credit here by assuming that there's a larger play. But hey, the good news is that Cam passed his physical and he says he's feeling great.
I feel good. I would say 100% is pretty accurate, and looking forward to getting out there tomorrow.
I know we did say that guys usually feel okay during this sort of thing, but not only did the Knicks look at him and think this is either totally fine, they either thought that or we can totally fix this. And there may be not a lot to look at yet. Again, we're recording this before the Sacramento Kings game, so Cam's only played 5 minutes versus the Clippers and just over 10 minutes in Miami. And it would be stupid to draw too much from just a quarter and a half of playing time. But I do think he looks a lot more comfortable on that right leg. And just look at how he lands on this rebound. And this layup. The difference between earlier this season and now is night and day. And it's a good first sign, to say the least. A couple of months ago, I dug into RJ. I call the two of them the Dukes of York, by the way. And I had mentioned how he jumps forward as he releases his shot. And I theorized that it just adds another variable to the shot and that it is partially responsible to his early season inconsistencies. Cam, though, straight up and down. And yeah, he does like to come down left foot first. But so long as he does it with his knees, ankles, and hips aligned, he seems that he has the core strength where it shouldn't be a problem for him. And if it's more comfortable for him to shoot this way, I say go for it. If it's not broken, don't fix it, and it seems like it's going great. My hope for Cam going forward is that he can settle in as our starting three. He has small ball 4 potential. Again, he's 6'8" with a 7'1" wingspan. He can stretch the floor. He was 3rd ranked on ESPN's top 100 list in 2018 for prospects, right behind RJ and Zion. The potential is there. We've seen flashes of it. His development is going to come down to health. If Cam can get a feel for the game and reach his ceiling, then the Knicks will have absolutely fleeced the Hawks on this trade. Only he's going to have to get on the floor and stay there. For the Knicks Wall, I'm Raymond Brenkert, and remember, when you move better, you feel better.